Hi guys, this is Mina from Mind Peace. I'm here today to talk to you about thought patterns. So a thought pattern is a pattern that you've got used to thinking in a particular way. So you've either done it since you're a child or you've just developed it in your adulthood, and you've just got this constant thought that keeps going on in your mind, and it could be serving you really well, which is great. So it could be a really positive thought like I'm really good at my work, or I'm really good in my relationships. So that will, and the more energy we put into that and more focus we put into that, the bigger that thought develops. And then obviously that's a great feeling, because then after thought patterns we have something called emotional patterns. So the emotion around that feeling could be that I feel really successful. That means I feel happy because I'm happy in my relationships. And then that turns into behavior. So we have thought, it turns into emotion, and then we have a behavior pattern. The behavior pattern for somebody feeling really connected with their family is that they're going to want more connection, so they're going to do even better with their relationships. So you can see how a thought becomes an emotion, and emotion becomes a behavior. Now what happens when that emotion and behavior are not as positive as that one I've just talked about, connecting with family? So you can have a thought pattern that I'm really scared of flying. You know, you could have this feeling that you could have this thought that I don't like flying. So every time you see a plane, your emotion rises up of fear, and then your fear turns into this real strong emotion of I don't want to do this. This is not safe for me. I don't feel very safe. So the emotion is that you feel unsafe. Then the behavior will follow. So the behavior will be I'm not going to even attempt to fly. I'm not even going to go on a plane. I'm not going to go and enjoy myself, and I'm not going to go abroad. So you can see how the thought can turn into emotion. The emotion can turn into behavior. So if I give you another example, the thought could be that I'm not a great mum. Yeah, it could be I'm not a great mum. And then the emotion could be that I don't feel great, I don't feel good, I feel guilty, I feel bad. And then what that results in is that there's less connection with the children, because then you just know you don't feel good, you think you're a bad person, a bad mum, and then eventually you have this guilt takes over, and then your behaviour is that you don't have any connection as well. You can have the same example socially. So people might think that I don't fit in socially, so therefore I don't feel great about connecting. And then what the result is, the behaviour is that I don't want to connect. So it can keep you away from things that are really good for you. And that's the danger about listening to a thought. It's really important to make the thought, ask the question, is the thought rational or irrational? Is it a rational fear of something happening, or is it really true? Is it really going to happen? And most of the time, the truth is, it's just an irrational thought. So the thought itself needs upgrading. So we need to reboot ourselves and reconnect with ourselves, and sort of change what that thought really is. Is it really serving me, this thought? What is it doing? So you need to have a conversation with the thought. Because thoughts can get out of control, and then they become then you have an emotional trigger in your body, and then you think, well, actually I don't think that I think I have to tune into this thought so much so that you have an emotional reaction, an emotional trigger to it, and then that emotional trigger turns into a behavior, and your behavior will be that I don't want to be here, or I don't want to do those things aren't great. A lot of people who suffer from things like agoraphobia, a lot of people who suffer from anxiety, depression, stress, post-traumatic stress, go through those thought patterns, and then go through the emotions, and then go through the behaviour, which is never serving them. They're not allowed to go to a different location because they're scared of something. They're not able to meet socially with people because they're always conscious of their self, not about either not fitting in or anything. Could be absolutely any reason that they don't want to connect with people. So it's really, really important to be aware, what is this thought saying about me? What is it telling me about me? Is it true? or is it just something that's grown because I've fed it so much? So don't feed the thought if it's negative, and find ways to feed the thoughts that are good. So look at the positives in them. I know I don't really talk about positive and negative because it's not really something that's going to change you, but what can change you is that if you just look at it, observe the thought. Is it true? Is it honest? Is it accurate? Is it exaggerated? Is the base of it in fear? What is it? What is this thought? Where am I going with this thought? I do have a different video on overthinking, and that does help you to understand why we overthink. But I just wanted to do a very short video about thought, because remember, your thought will become emotional and your emotions will drive your behaviour. This is why we don't connect, this is why we don't reach out, this is why I don't ask for help, this is why, because we're so worried about people's judgments, we're so worried about how we're going to be perceived, what we're going to look like, we're very guarded like that, and really it starts from having a thought. So because your thought is so disastrous and is traumatic, the thought is, and it's saying some really negative things about you and about us, about me, it makes us feel that we're trapped with this thought, and then we have such an emotional trigger. So it could be that you have a thought about trying to connect with people, and then you have this fear that people are not going to like me, they're going to judge me, they're going to be horrible to me. So all these thoughts turn into feelings and emotions, and when that emotions really, when they rupture so much, they get out of control, and then the behaviour is that we just start to become isolated. We isolate ourselves from people, we become lonely, we become sad, we become introverts. Okay, so have a think about your thought. Is it serving you? Is it great? Is it good? What is this thought really doing for you? And have a fantastic week, and I will see you again. Bye.